Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at the link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right? I'll holla. Peace.
Oh, hello, family. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Lashana, Lala, Shan, good evening. How you doing, dear? Cece, Danielle, Maya. Y'all smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button in the ticker that you see here. So what you want to do is hit the like button, a little thumbs up right there like that. Share it, which is the arrow. And you can put it on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever. Just smash up the likes and share this content. Ladies and gentlemen, we hot and heavy in here on a beautiful Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month of January. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope all of you are safe and doing blessed this new year. I hope 2024 is going to be a prosperous year for all of you. I have a feeling it will be for me. I have a feeling it will be for you. Certainly I am going to be I have made my New Year's resolution already, which is to be more assertive. I'm assertive already, but I want to be more assertive and not procrastinate as much. And I feel I've done a good job with that, although probably not as aggressive as I should be. But that's the main goal for me, my main resolution. And to be a better man. I think what a better person as we all can. I want to welcome you all to our edition of Random Topic Tuesdays, the hottest live stream in social media. I have only 2 topics I want to talk about tonight. Maybe these shouldn't even, of course, be the number one concern, because there are other issues that are plaguing the world right now we all better pay attention to. I just want to bring your attention. Have y'all heard this? This was an interesting article. Of course, I've even seen it, but the foreign minister right now of Israel not yet in Yahoo, but the incoming foreign minister, is his name Israeli Katz. Israel Katz made a remark about World War III. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but Russia, of course, has been talking about it, and as well as, the thing going with Israel and Hamas. And I think Russia supposedly has stuck their nose in it. Russia, of course, is going at it with the Ukraine. But Israel Katz, who's the foreign minister of Israel, the incoming foreign minister, he actually said that we are in the middle of World War III on his first day as foreign minister. Now, he's used this term. Other politicians have used this term. If you read this article from Newsweek, this was just brought to my attention. I'm not trying to get anybody upset or excited to thinking World War III is coming, but nothing has been declared yet. But you're seeing all of these conflicts. So many politicians are talking about World War III. Trump even mentioned, it truly breaks my heart to see Crooked Joe, the weakest and most incompetent president in history, ruin our country as he pushes America to the brink of World War III. Newsweek is talking about this. So all of these ongoing wars that we're seeing, and it gives me cause to pause with this conflict if we're heading in the wrong direction as a world. And I wanted to bring this to your attention. We all got to pay. The topics I talk about tonight are entertainment, but this is real life too. It has even a more serious effect on us in the world. And so I think it's important when you see things like this to pay very close attention to your leaders. This is the new foreign minister of Israel. So he hasn't even had a day in office yet, and he's making these remarks about how we're in World War, talking about how Israel is in the middle of World War III. And guess who is the biggest ally to Israel? It is the United States. He says, we're in the middle of World War III against Iran-led radical Islam, whose tentacles are already in Europe. So I look at this stuff. I think there was also something dealing with a submarine earlier. So yeah, we got to pay a very close attention to the shit going on in the world. So anyway, I thought that was interesting to talk about, and I think I will discuss it more at length, especially what we know is going on in the world today. People better pay very close attention. Now, y'all know I've been going hard, especially, thank you. I haven't seen you on the channel before. I don't know if you're a new subscriber, but thank you, Lala. I got to talk about this and what's going on with Jermaine Jackson. So that's the main thing. Two things we're talking about tonight. We're going to talk about MC Shan and Ed Lover going hard for Eminem. I said Dr. Dre. I apologize. But we're also going to talk about Jermaine Jackson being accused of assault and Barry Gordy also being accused of a cover-up. So first thing I want y'all to do is hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Yeah, you still hear fireworks outside. Kids are still popping fireworks in the back because it's still the new year, trying to get rid of all of this stuff. So Jermaine Jackson, brother of Michael Jackson. Y'all know Jermaine is the third oldest brother. There's Jackie, there's Tito, there's Jermaine, Marlon, and then Michael. Of course, Marlon had a twin brother named Brandon who died prematurely. But in that particular order, of course, there's a sister, Rebe, who's actually the oldest child from the original Jackson family. But Jermaine was the bass guitar player for the Jacksons. So, I always was down with Jermaine. I always liked the Jackson 5, personally, although I didn't grow up with them at that time. I was born in the 80s, so they were already doing their thing when they were the Jackson 5, which passed when they were teenagers. Of course, then they became the Jacksons and then evolved to something else. So let's talk about it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jermaine Jackson is being accused of assault by a woman whose name is Rita Barrett, who's claiming that she was SA'd back at her home in 1988. Now, to put this in context, in 1988, I was 2 years old. I'm 37 now. So, 35 years ago, Ms. Barrett supposedly, according to her lawsuit that she filed in the Superior Court of Los Angeles, is accusing Mr. Jackson, Jermaine, who is 69, of harassment, rape, S.A., S-battery, and S-assault to an incident that occurred in her home in 1988. The court papers say that Mr. Jackson forcefully entered her home and assaulted her, inflicting severe emotional, physical, and psychological injury, including humiliation, shame and guilt, economic loss, economic capacity, and permanent emotional distress. Now, we saw this. I want y'all to pay very close attention. She didn't just name, of course, like the suit, she didn't name Mr. Jackson, just him. She listed Jermaine's production company, his music production company, his record company, I believe, which is Work Records. And in that suit, she alleges, although he is not being sued, to my knowledge, from what I'm reading from this, but he is being accused of, Berry Gordy is being accused of covering up this alleged assault. So the complaint says that Mr. Jackson, through Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records, had a personal and business relationship with Miss Barrett's husband. Mr. Gordy could not be reached for comment. They reached out to Jermaine and Berry Gordy, and they couldn't comment on it. Didn't get a chance to. Now, you all know, and I'm sure most of you already know, that Jermaine Jackson and Berry Gordy were relatives because Jermaine happened to be married at that time, or was about to be divorced, to Berry Gordy's daughter, Hazel. They were married in 1973. They were divorced in 1988. They had 3 children together. This is Hazel. That's their children, younger children at that time. But he had 3 kids with Hazel. This is a picture of from the wedding. Damn, $499 for this? The hell? Look, that's Rebe. That looks like Berry. I think that's Berry Gordy Sr. Pops, as they call it. That's Berry Gordy's daddy. So that would be Hazel's grandfather. Yeah, but that's Hazel there. Damn. Jermaine's hair has always been younger than him, huh? Shit. Anyway. Why don't you do what you do? You did it. At any rate, okay. I'm not gonna talk about Jermaine's hair. Cece said that was the wedding of the 70s. Really? Cece, how old are you? Damn. I don't even know what the wedding of 2000s were. Shit. The wedding of this generation probably was, what? Cardi B and Offset? Kim K and Kanye. Yeah, that lasted long. Now look at this. She's requesting a jury trial. Now, I mentioned Berry Gordy. Of course, I mentioned Berry Gordy for a reason. Now, he's mentioned in this suit, but he's not being sued. They're not suing Motown. And I think the reason, first off, they can't sue Berry Gordy is because, number one, he no longer owns Motown Company. So if she wanted to file a lawsuit, and in the 80s, if you recall, Berry Gordy had already sold Motown Records in 1988 to Polygram. And so she can't sue him, but she's suing Jermaine. But notice, as I pointed out, she filed the lawsuit against the production companies as well. Now, we don't know exactly how she met. According to what she's saying is that she came through meeting Jermaine as a musician's contractor and as a member of a union that represents musicians. And she knew Jermaine through Berry Gordy. Now, I mentioned those companies being named as defendants because what does that sound similar to? Like, what we talked about for the last month and a half? We talked about somebody. We talked about P. Diddy and how Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, and Comb Enterprises were being sued for gender-motivated violence and 2 counts of negligence. They were sued for negligence. Correct. And why do you sue the companies? I've already explained to y'all, let me take that off the screen for a second. As an attorney, why you want to sue the companies, especially if you're alleging these things, these terrible accusations, is that number one, you're going to get you can trigger, which is what Cassie's lawyers did, a payout from an insurance company. Insurance companies can settle lawsuits quicker than a lawyer because insurance companies do not represent the client. They represent their interest. When Michael Jackson was accused of what he was in the 90s, and a payout was made to Evan Chandler. Evan Chandler was the father of Gordy Chandler. He was going through a custody battle with his wife, June. And if we recall, Gordy Chandler and Michael Jackson became very close. He also became close to June. And so Evan Chandler, and it's been documented, wanted to use his son as a way to get into Hollywood and to make money. He wanted to be a screenwriter. He actually wrote Robin Hood Men in Tights. He co-wrote that with the legendary Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks, as you know, did History of the World, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. My personal favorite is History of the World, Spaceballs. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights. That was one of the last films Mel Brooks actually directed. But yeah, I love History of the World. Now, said to this day he refused to watch because of that. So you know what? I've watched. Well, I mean, Robin Hood Men in Tights. I was 7 when that came out, so I've seen it before. I mean, they got worse. I mean, look, you refuse to watch that, but look, the Beach Boys. Some of the Beach Boys songs, Charles Manson wrote some of those. You're gonna don't stop listening to the Beach Boys. He wrote a couple of songs with him. I don't think he's gonna be in a Songwriters Hall of Fame. The truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah, Charles Manson was friends with them at one point. He was friends with one of the Wilson brothers. I think it was Dennis. Yeah, Dennis Wilson. And in fact, I think from the stories that I heard, Charles Manson made a threat or something along the lines to Dennis at one point, threatening his family. And Dennis Wilson, who was the drummer, he put an ass whooping on him. They were actually good friends. That's the story I've heard. Yeah, Dennis was the drummer for the Beach Boys. He actually lived with him at one time, yeah. Yeah, just read that story. I'm sorry, I was looking it up, but yeah, that's the story on that. But getting back to this thing, so now with Jermaine, I got off track a little bit. I get a little ADD sometimes. But Jermaine gets to that, and then we have Berry Gordy being mentioned in the suit. Now, I'm surprised, I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised that Berry Gordy hadn't been mentioned in the lawsuit per se that she was suing him. But they had to throw in the fact that Berry Gordy supposedly assisted. Now, they can amend. I haven't read the petition, but they can, if they wanted to, probably try and amend it where if they wanted to add Berry Gordy as a defendant, they could have. But I'm surprised she wasn't mentioned now. And I think the reason they didn't is because they probably don't know or don't have enough information on his net worth, his wealth. Although Berry Gordy is still a wealth, from all intents and purposes, he's still a wealthy man. At the time he sold Motown, I believe he was, Motown was at first the number one African-American business in the world. He had his publishing firm, he had his record company, he had his production studios. Remember, he was doing movies. So I'm just surprised. And yeah, and I've heard stories about Mr. Gordy being tied with mafia and so forth. I've heard those things, but I don't know 1,000% how much is true and how much is false. I mean, there are court records that are out there about Motown and the stuff that some of the artists didn't get their royalties, didn't get paid correctly. That stuff is true. But they're outright saying that Berry Gordy, she's saying, just focusing on this, that Berry Gordy assisted in covering up this alleged assault. And my only thing and problem with this, ladies and gentlemen, is if you read this article with the USA Today, it's very similar. Yeah, like I mentioned with Diddy and Cassie, they even tell you flat out, she was able to file this very similar to the Adult Survivors Act, in New York, there is a similar law in Los Angeles, and this act is called the California's Sexual Abuse and Cover-Up Accountability, which allows civil suits in cases of sexual assault that are now beyond the statute of limitations, where one or more entities are legally responsible for the damages and an entity or their agents engage in a cover-up. This is why Berry Gordy is in this lawsuit. If they didn't mention Berry Gordy, they had no lawsuit. And at that time, Jermaine was still an employee of Motown. Let's look at it. Jermaine was the reason Jermaine never left. When his brothers went to CBS Records in the 70s, Jermaine was the one that stayed with Motown. He voted against moving because he was married to Hazel. Now, he's denied saying, well, I didn't move because of hate. No, Negro, come on. Everybody married. Everybody got a woman. If your father-in-law is your boss, you think you're going to quit? Marvin Gaye didn't even quit Motown, and he was married to Barry's sister. He was married to Anna. He was married to Anna Gordy for a long time. Marvin didn't move until he got divorced from his second wife. And he was contractually obligated to finish Motown, that album for Motown. He was contractually obligated to do like 4 albums, which he did. Yeah, so CBS Records, yeah, look at it. Jermaine didn't leave Motown. Let's see. We can check here. So they joined in 68, right? So let's see how long he was with Motown. Let's look at his discography. Now you could all see it here. So Arista was in 84. All right. So by this time, he left Motown in the early 80s. So between 84 and 91. So the allegations are that it happened in 88. The album Don't Take It Personal came out in 89. So he had already left Motown. Berry Gordy was still his father-in-law even after he left. Up until 1988. So, and here's another thing. I find it hard, now there are strange bedfellows, but I find it hard to believe a father would assist in his daughter's husband's infidelity, yet alone rape, in something like this. So I'm having a difficult time listening to that and coupling that with, and that's another issue I have, that he covered up sexual assault and infidelity. Now their third child, Jermaine's third kid, was born, and this was 15 years after the marriage. He was born during their marriage in 87, Jamie. Now, Jermaine at the time, and remember this too, Jermaine, of course, he was known to cheat. I mean, it happens. Yes, he was having infidelity with his wife, Hazel. He had a kid he had 2 children out of wedlock with the woman Margaret Maldonado, and they have 2 sons together. This was some mess too. Now, Jermaine was actually dating Randy's girlfriend, who had a child with Randy, and then married her. I don't know how they did it. So there's gotta be, there's bros before hoes. Family shares everything. I'm not sharing the cooch. We share the pooch, but not the cooch. Nah, that's too much damn sharing. You share the Wi-Fi with your family. You don't share the puss high. The hell? Let's get serious, Jermaine. Come on. I don't believe this stuff. I think it's a money grab. It just seems like there's got to be a statute of limitations, and this is the thing I'm telling everybody, and this was what Eddie Griffin was saying about Bill Cosby. When he talked about what happened with Dr. Cosby, and he said no black man leaves this earth clean. Every black entertainer, in some way, shape, or form, has their image tarnished. Kobe Bryant left this world. Wasn't even 55 minutes with Kobe after Kobe and his daughter and those other pussos died, that you had people calling this man a rapist. Oh, he got away with it. He got away with it. He raped this girl. He raped that. He did this. He did that. You had entertainers. You had, I wouldn't even call that, but you had a comedian. I won't name him because he's not even that funny to know, but who made a remark about how he was glad that the man was dead. Dr. Cosby accused of raping 50-something women and still counting, although all of them don't say rape. Who else got it? Who else got accused of something? Jamie Foxx grabbed a Becky. Cuba Gooding Jr. touched a white woman on his butt that was following him around in a club. Paul Mooney even got accused of stuff. Richard Pryor got accused of sleeping with Marlon Brando and Marvin Gaye. I mean, everybody got to have an asterisk. You did something. OJ, what need I say more? Barry Bonds, steroids. That's why he's not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Red Fox, income tax evasion. Sammy Davis Jr., income tax. Now, even some of that, Joe Louis, income tax. And Joe Louis, what they did to him was terrible. Joe Louis actually gave up his career. He gave up his career for the cause of the United States. He fought in World War II. He did exhibition fights for troop morale. He turned over and this is how they got him. He signed over his paychecks that he got from his promotion company for fights to the United States, up to the tune of $250,000. The checks were made out to Joe Louis. He forwarded his checks. He signed them over to the United States. And how the United States got him was that, well, the checks are made payable to Joe Louis, not to the United States. So yeah, even though you're forwarding this to me, Joe, this is still taxable income. So that's how they got Joe Louis. And Joe Louis was in debt for the rest of his life. He had to rely on Frank Sinatra and Muhammad Ali and all these other people. You know, yeah, he was broke. He didn't have the money like he did, but he didn't have to pay for any meals. He didn't have to pay for dinner. He didn't have to pay for lunch. People, they did charity funds for him. He was a hero to a lot of those people. People like Frank Sinatra and Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. And Sugar Ray Robinson lost money too. Frank Sinatra took care of a lot of people. From what I've heard, Jim Brown said, and I guess he was friends with Frank Sinatra, he said, if he loved you, you were a brother for life. You didn't have to worry about nothing. He didn't like you, get out the way. But if he loved you, he looked after you. Because Sugar Ray Robinson had Alzheimer's, and I think Frank Sinatra paid all of his medical bills. He actually had commercials that he was doing, endorsement deals, I think with Bud Light or Budweiser, and he made them give all the checks to Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah, Sugar Ray was in the Army too. Jackie Robinson was in the Army. Jackie Robinson never got to see battle in World War II because he got court-martialed for going at it with his superiors over Jim Crow. He wouldn't give up his seat to a white man on the bus. And they threatened to put hands on him. And Jackie Robinson, if you read the court-martial records, he said, anybody touching me is a dead son of a bitch. Even though, yeah, years later, Jackie went at Ali. I need to write a book one on Jermaine. Might giving me, that's if anybody buys my book, Cece. I can write damn good books, but I can't sell them. As I put in a lot of work. I'm gonna be like Sean. I'm gonna write 100 books, and I'd have a vacation collecting Transformer figures. What figures can I collect? I'm gonna collect Star Wars. Now, we're gonna take a critical examination of these women and these accusations against Jermaine Jackson and his 20-year-old hair. Now, when I take a critical examination of Jermaine Jackson's perm, I must say that activator, whatever it is, must be really super dap because it keeps everything intact. I mean, there is absolutely no naps in that dap. Now, but Jermaine got railroaded. I don't know. I think Jermaine's being railroaded. This is about money. So I pray for the truth to come out. Like Dick Gregory once told me, you don't pray that it's real. You pray that the truth comes out. I don't know. I don't think this is true. I don't believe this information is 100% true yet. He is innocent until proven guilty. I think, and same thing with Berry Gordy. Like I said, so Berry Gordy now got an asterisk on his name. This is a man who, for years, never had any trouble, my knowledge, to the law or anything like that. And at 94 years old, just think about it. Berry Gordy just turned 94. So he'll be 95 later this year. You think if in his last years, he's got to deal with this shit? Same thing with Bill Cosby. You're in your 80s. You and your wife have been married for almost 60 years, and you're starting to liquidate your assets to pay off these lawsuits against these old. I don't want to go too far. So I'm gonna talk about that. But yeah, it's a shame. Now, next thing I want to talk about is this stuff going on. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We got to talk about this. So I talked about Jermaine, but now I got to talk about this thing with Ed Lover. And I mentioned Dr. Dre. I apologize. It's not Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was Ed Lover's partner, but it's actually in the description I said Dr. Dre and MC Shan, but it's actually Ed Lover that went hard against Dr. Umar. Now, if you don't know what's going on, of course, Dr. Umar Johnson was on Joe Budden's podcast a couple of weeks ago and was talking about Eminem, and they asked Dr. Umar Johnson if they believed Eminem should be in the top 10 rappers of all time. And Dr. Umar said Eminem should not be in the top 10 discussion because essentially hip-hop was created by black people. It would be disrespectful to have a white boy as not only as the top rapper of all time, but in the top MCs of all time, but to say that his legacy, Slim Shady's legacy, is mired in white supremacy. And so Ed Lover on his podcast criticized Dr. Umar. I'm going to also talk about MC Shan in a second. But he said, essentially, Ed Lover says, where did you get your doctorate? I'm telling you where I'm reading from if you can look here. He says, where did you get your doctorate? What makes you a doctor? And then, where did you come from? And what makes you an authority on hip-hop? Eminem don't need Dr. Umar to tell him he's one of the greatest of all time because we've already said it. Hip-hop is for everybody. Hip-hop might have been created by black people, but the love of music, melodies, and rhymes have spread all over the world. Now, y'all know that Ed Lover was the host of MTV Raps and is a Hip Hop Hall of Fame inductee. He went on and said that that's like saying Big Pun can't be one of the greatest of all time because he's not African American, because he's Puerto Rican. Fat Joe don't deserve to be in hip hop because he's not African American. You weren't there, Dr. Umar, respectfully. You were not there, but he was not the only one taking up for Massa. Now, MC Shan, and I've actually been on the phone with MC Shan before when I was on Judge Joe Brown's show. He actually had some comments. Now, I got to speed this up. But I'm going to play. This is courtesy of the brother South Power who actually has this. This is
not cool. Everyone has a right to their opinion. We all look at social media because we like other people's opinions. Dr. Umar recently said that Eminem can't be one of the greatest of all time because he's not African American. Dr. Umar, please. Please. First of all, the one thing I want to know is, and I think I need to Google this, where did you get your doctorate? What makes you a doctor?
Oh, let me stop it right there.
Where did you come from?
So,
and where?
So Ed Lover, I keep calling him Dr. Dre. Ed Lover decides to insult Dr. Umar. You ask, where did you get your doctorate, where you got your doctorate from? It has been proven. Now, a lot of people have criticized Dr. Umar, I think in part because of the school not being there and other issues. Umar does have Dr. Umar Johnson, and it's been verified. He is a doctor. He does have a doctorate in psychology. So he is a doctor. He did get his doctorate. He did go to school. So people and even the Ruth, which I know you all are familiar with, is it's certainly an anti-black male news site. They have stated that he has his doctorate. He has Millersville University of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. He has a PsyD, so he is a psychologist. So it's been proven he's a psychologist. All right? So he has his doctorate. If you Google it, Ed Lover could look at it. All the information is right here. Now, a lot of people don't like Umar, like I stated, because of the school. We've never seen the school yet. We haven't, even though he's been on YouTube, he's talked about it, he shows videos and pictures of it, but has not been up and running. And for the last 10 years, he has, he's raised money in which to build this school. Now, I actually have had my issues with Umar regarding that school. I didn't give money to it, but I still listen to what this brother has to say and speak and the stuff he talks on. And a lot of people identify with him because they say, and he's saying the things that many black men, especially, black men, and I shouldn't just say black men, and women, but is geared, I guess, especially being that he's a male, it's linked to black men. He says things that we can't normally say on TV. He's a free thinker. And I can tell the man is smart. And he's entitled to his opinion. So he doesn't like Eminem. I will say this. I don't even care for Eminem per se. There's nothing Eminem did that had me go out dancing. Probably the best thing I ever heard Eminem did was Slim Shady. But and I admire some things about him. I'll be the first to admit his artistry and so forth. I don't consider Eminem the greatest MC of all time, though. I don't put him on a pedestal and worship him. And I think what Umar is talking about, and this is part of the issue that I have with Ed Lover, and I'm going to get to MC Shan in a second, is that you mentioned, first off, Fat Joe. Fat Joe has been mad disrespectful as of late to black people. And you said hip-hop may have been created by black people. It wasn't a may. It was created by blacks in America. It was created by black people in this country. And the sad part about it is that something we create, like most things, like Motown, like Def Jam, and others, we don't get to hold and pass down to the next generation so that they can make money. You look at that show Yellowstone. The show Yellowstone, the central part of that show is about family and how Kevin Costner's role as the patriarch of that Yellowstone ranch. He's a seventh generation ranch owner in the United States, and the largest ranch that he is intending and fighting to pass down to his children and grandchildren before he dies. He ran to be governor just to prevent an airport being built on his ranch. Why? He wants to pass it down to his family. It's worth something. Motown was worth something. Def Jam is worth something. That's the point of all of this. And you've taken something you built and given it to somebody who don't like you. So Ed Lover is saying this stuff.
What makes you authority on hip hop? Now, Eminem don't need Dr. Umar to tell him that he's one of the greatest of all time, because we've already have said it. Hip hop is for everybody. Hip hop might have been created by black people, but the love of music, melodies, and rhymes has spread all over this world.
Now, this is what MC Shan had to say.
One time for your mind, two times for your soul. Before I get into this one, I need to go get another whistle and shit, because I got something to say to Dr. Umar, right? You pick on the wrong guy. I understand your, but you have to look at the individuals that are the individuals. Eminem deserves, you can't look at Eminem as if he was Mark Zuckerberg and he came into our culture and he just robbed our culture. How do you think Eminem got in this culture? Because he was as ghetto as the rest of the motherfuckers, regardless of his skin. And I would be the biggest hit. I produced the biggest reggae artist ever. Bigger than Bob Marley. The Guinness Book of World Records says so. And so who am I to sit here? Snow is as ghetto as I am. I would go anywhere with Snow in the ghetto before I would go some people that I grew up with. Because that's in him, the ghetto. Okay?
MC Shan, and what MC Shan is talking about is Snow, the guy who did Informer. He was a songwriter and producer on that. Now, MC Shan was, a lot of people may not know this, but he was actually up for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air role that Will Smith had. Will Smith was the Fresh Prince because MC Shan turned it down, and essentially he got into it with Betty Medina. Betty Medina was the one who created the Fresh Prince, and Betty Medina is a record executive, but he's also openly gay. And apparently, and I'm not going to say the words that MC Shan said, but essentially MC Shan said, called him a you know what. Just put two and two together. Snow had, so wait, he said, I'll go with Snow. Snow had one song. Snow had one track. Well, you make it sound like Snow was the best. Damn. Informer, but it's all to me. I lick your boom boom down. Remember when Living Color made fun of him? He had one track, nigga. What? In Living Color, Jim Carrey made fun of him. Remember that?
They say you took something that belonged to them, and man, they gonna kick your white ass.
Remember that?
Imposter, I'm just a middle-class worker from Toronto. In spite of how I sound, single one platinum bigger than Marley and Jimmy and Yellowman, but I'm not even mulatto. My reggae's watered down. Hear me on the radio, think I could not be blacker, but on my video, you see I'm really a cracker, pretending I was a Rasta since I was in jammies. I should pay my face and start betting out Mary. You can criticize me all the way to the bank. My single number one and Shabba don't rank. I'm wanna kick dice off the label, put this in the cops. They said it just ain't right. When a Caucasian man records a cupping song, they don't have a problem. Must be an oversight. All the Jamaicans think I gave them a bum steer, but everything I know I learned from an auctioneer. The video started 7 for this year, go again. 8 2 I hear 8 9, who will give me 10? I got 10 going once, going twice sold. I can spot gibberish and it'll go gold. I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
I rap in your songs with the best of my ability. You need a black man to increase your credibility. When put on the spot, I side with the rock, cause the Shan ain't down with no imposter.
Imposter, like Vanilla Ice, the people are saying.
That's Snow. Snowhead, yeah. Oh, he grew up with Jamaicans. Okay. And I go with Snow. Snow is not even on Eminem. Eminem, at least we could say, is one of, I'll say this, he's one of the most successful rap artists of all time. Is that fair to say? I think that's fair to say. Eminem made millions of dollars as a rap artist. But he's praising that Snow. So Shan is going hard on Umar.
One time for your mind, 2 times for your soul. Before I get into this one, I need to go get another whistle and shit. Because I got something to say to Dr. Umar. Right? You pick on the wrong people. I understand your... Not, but you have to look at the individuals that are the individuals. Eminem deserves. Again, look at Eminem as if he was Mark Zuckerberg and he came into our culture and he just robbed our culture. How do you think Eminem got in this culture? Because he was as ghetto as the rest of the motherfuckers, regardless of his skin. And I would be the biggest hit. I produced the biggest reggae artist ever. Bigger than Bob Marley. The Guinness Book of World Records says so. And so who am I to sit here? Snow is as ghetto as I am. I would go anywhere with Snow in the ghetto before I would go some people that I grew up with. because that's in him, the ghetto. Okay, they may be white and can do what they do now and think. Don't be jealous of that. I'm not jealous.
I gotta say this now. So why is the ghetto something that we gotta embrace? Ghetto is something we should be leaving from. Ghetto don't even belong to black folk. Ghetto comes from Jews. That's a Jewish word. It's a poor urban area. It was the Jewish quarter in the city. That's what the ghetto came from. Now you say ghetto, that's like hood. Yeah, I'm hood, nigga. It's him, I'm street. And Shan is looking like Huggy Bear from I'ma Get You Sucker right now. I just noticed that. Anthony Falcons. Shan looking like Anthony Falcons. Huggy Bear. Just look at, I could go harder on Shan. My man Dwayne was going in on Shan earlier. But I just noticed he looked like Huggy Bear.
Because Snow can do a whole bunch of things that I can't. I remember Snow taking me to the mountains of Whistler, where I was the only black person there. But he was part of our fucking culture, son. You know what I'm saying? He's part of Eminem, part of our culture, Dr. Umar. You can't look at Eminem as if he was a Mark Zuckerberg, and I love Eminem. Eminem loves me. He's mentioned me on the Grammys, whoever he was. He didn't have to say nothing about me. Okay, and I'm not saying that about him because he said that. I'm saying this because what I'm saying is he was part of our culture. He wasn't Mark Zuckerberg. What's up, Red Boy? He wasn't Mark Zuckerberg. Now, we could say that if Mark Zuckerberg came in and made a rap album and then decided he was going to step off into his culture and be rich because Search, exactly, Search. You're talking about Search was the first one. I remember Search. You'd be at clubs back in the day. Search made his way through this game. He picked up Pete Nice later on, but Search was that real, authentic individual. Back then, only MC Search and
there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades. Yo, check out Homeboy. See how big brother out there, huh? Fishing in shoes. Curly must be a rap star. Everybody walking on the aquarium. Everybody, you get OG.
MC Sharon walking through the hood. Man, look. Let's finish. So he's going hard for Eminem. And I get it. Eminem. I can. Yeah, Shan went in on Nas last year because he wasn't included in the Hip Hop 50 performances. How much for a rib? No, one rib, Danielle. One rib. That's MC Shan. And so Shan is going in. So Shan is defending M from Umar. And Dr. Umar, I'm going to finish. I want to play. Dr. Umar actually responded, it looks like.
African. It is an insult to the ancestors. It is an insult to the race, and it is an insult to every black person. Do you think I can go to Palestine and be the best anything of Palestinian culture? You never see that. You think I can go to Israel and be the best of anything in Israel, whether it be a cook, an instrumentalist, a dancer? Hell no. And we have to stop naming non-African people, Joe. Stay with me, though. Let me finish this. We got to stop naming non-African people as being the best of any aspect of our cultural
Joe, I think
because it is an insult.
We can acknowledge that the talent is.
Yes, I can acknowledge him on the side.
We should.
But let me tell you,
For you to put him at the top, that's white supremacy. That's white supremacy.
Invent the golf team, and if you ever read a history book, you might know that bunny hopping for the white Jesus of rap isn't a good look on my Jamaican African family. So please cut it out, Ninja. You come from the land of the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, so start acting like Dr. Umar then responds to Ed Lover by saying, "My dear brother Ed, are you serious? You question my credentials as to where I earned my doctoral degree because I stand unapologetically in defense of African culture against co-option, usurpation, and colonization by outsiders. I'm not the expert on hip hop, but I am an expert on the exploitation of black culture by non-Africans. I said what I said and I meant every word of it. I'm pretty sure Mr. Mathers can speak for himself. He doesn't need Negro gatekeepers voluntarily playing defense attorney without being asked to do so. I never questioned the man's talent. I rejected any attempt to anoint him as the GOAT. I never personally insulted him. Your comments about Fat Joe and Big Pun make absolutely no sense, as being Puerto Rican is a nationality and being Latino is ethnicity. Being African is a race, and most Latinos are genetically of African origin. As far as your comments that hip-hop is for everybody, and that you consider Eminem a friend, and that you know how hard he works, sounds like some of the same old colorblind rhetoric that has allowed black culture and community to be exploited by outsiders as far as we can remember. Perhaps you should have been as vocal when Eminem was exposed years ago for putting out racist lyrics about our black women. Where was all this passion then, Mr. Lover? Dr. Umar then responded to MC Shan saying, "To my dear elder MC Shan, I grew up listening to you just as I spent my high school years listening to Ed Lover on your MTV Raps. Unfortunately, I must respectfully disagree with both of you elders. I must admit that it hurts my heart to see two icons rush to the defense of a non-African without him needing to utter a single word. Your comments that Eminem got in the culture because he was as ghetto as the rest of us, and that Snow is as ghetto as I am, clearly shows that we as people still haven't grasped a true understanding of white privilege and how it operates in America. Additionally, he mentioned me on the Grammys is a personal issue that has nothing to do with the protection of our culture. Your comments, Dr. Umar, I know you're on this black culture thing, but you're jumping on the wrong thing. Eminem was no Mark Zuckerberg. His plight was just as effed up as some of us in the black community. We're absolutely ridiculous and clearly shows that slave plantation, protectionism politics still thrives within the hearts of the descendants of the enslaved." All right, now again, that was Dr. Umar responding to DJ Academics, Ed Lover, and MC Shan defending Eminem after last week. Dr. Umar was on the Joe Budden podcast, and he states that he could never name Eminem as the GOAT of hip hop simply because he's a white man in black culture.
It's always fun when you watch this stuff in fast, just to hear Dr. Umar talk fast is just something else. I love, it'd be funny hearing how would Shannon Sharp talk as a speed bunny. How would talk? Well, first of all, I gotta say this right now, Skip. Everything I'm gonna say is institutional because I'm so sick of this stuff, Skip. I gotta say this right now, Skip. I gotta tell you, Stephen A. Skip. I gotta say this to Shannon Sharp, Skip. I'd tell her up, Skip. I'd have ate it like ribs. I'd have ate it like everything. I'd have ate it like mashed potatoes. I'd have had it like Thanksgiving dinner right there on a Friday. Yeah, Thanksgiving on a Friday because Thanksgiving every day with Shannon Sharp. I'd eat it all up, so I'd eat it all up, Skip. I got it, Skip. I know it, Skip. Oh, Skip. I mean, my whole laptop screen has got spit all over it. Excuse me, Skip. What if Steve Harvey and Shannon Sharp had a kid? He'll come up. Skip. Skip. I need you to get my bags with Sid. You and Levita. 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 Your ass, Levita. I got. Your ass, Levita, I got to say, Skip. Levita, you had said y'all got to get out my apartment because Regina and I asked, we trying. No, Porky Pig, no, you're getting that mixed up with Roland Martin. Eminem is the greatest rapper of all damn time. All you fools don't know that because he goes to levity for the Democrats in Detroit. He goes to levity for Democrats in Detroit with Motown. He was stepping right there with White Boy Rick and Meech. and meet you in the BMMMF. Now where's the Soul Train line? I gotta get my dig on. DJ Porky 1. Dems. Vote Dem. Who? Give me a home where the buffalo and the roam and the deer and the antelope and the deer and the antelope. Remember that episode of Looney Tunes when Sylvester and Porky Pig were staying in that haunted house and Porky wanted to stay longer and Sylvester hits him on the head. Boom! Give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope and the deer and the antelope and the deer and the antelope. Let's do it. Charles Barkley singing it. Oh, give me a home, Ernie, where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelopes are playing the Lakers on NBA on NBA 2K4. Yeah, and street clothes gonna be. That was the best. That was my favorite episode. That and when they had Bugs Bunny as Leopold. Bugs Bunny is making the opera guy sing to the point where he's turning blue. Ooh. So let me yeah, man. My problem with Shan and with MC Shan and with Eminem, when it comes to that, DJ Academics and Ed Lover, is you had to, in order to, and look, I've had my issues with Umar with stuff he has said, but you all on this, I agree with him. I agree with him because you are talking about something that black people created. Eminem, to me, I think Eminem was hype. I think Eminem was talented, yes, per se. Do I think he should have been or should be the greatest MC of all time, in my opinion? No. They had Jay-Z. They have, look, Jay-Z, Kanye West. We talk about Biggie, Tupac, Eric B. and Rakim. Big Daddy, even Big Daddy Kane to some degree, his flow and stuff, how he rhymed. I didn't like how they came for. I didn't like how Shan and Ed Lover came for Dr. Umar. So they went a little too hard with him. Yeah, but this, yeah, I think Umar is gatekeeping black culture. Yeah, I understand that, and I think that certainly, yeah, Eminem. I'm not gonna knock the man on his talent. Yeah, the man can flow. I'd be the first to tell you, he raps better than. He certainly can rap better than some people I know. Better than those rappers that are out there. Some of the other artists that they pushing out today, Eminem is better hands down. I agree with that. I'm not gonna be a liar and say he's not, but I can tell you this much: when I look at hip hop overall, party anthems that they had, stuff that got you going, Em never had that to me. Tupac had that. Biggie had that. Jay-Z had that. Kanye has that. 50 Cent has that. And yeah, 50 Cent was wrapped up with Eminem and Dr. Dre at one point when he just was starting in the business. Oh, give me a vote for the governor's race, and you didn't vote for blacks, you damn fools. You didn't vote back. You didn't vote. What in the hell? What in the hell? Oh, you are a damn fool. Oh, shut up, you popping fresh doughboy. You vote for the Democratic Party, who ain't done a damn thing for no damn black folk in this damn country, and I'm so damn sick of it. I keep saying damn. You sissified punks. You better try my rib sauce. It'll make a man out of you. Try my barbecue sauce, you sissified punk. I asked Tariq, when I was on Tariq, he doesn't talk to me, but I did a the chat when he did a live stream. I asked him if he could do rolling, and he did. Could you please do rolling? And he said, yeah. Someone asked me to do rolling, and welcome to TV One. So no, Judge, I've spoke to Judge last week. I'm gonna reach out to him. Maybe we can have him come on this week to ring in the new year. I know he does his stuff with Dana, so I'm happy for him. Yeah, I know he did. He had that election last year, and he was dealing with some health issues. So, y'all, Judge is doing fine though. I've spoken with him, so he's good. But look, I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, do y'all stand with Dr. Umar, or do you agree with Ed Lover? Most of what I'm hearing is everybody's agreeing with, sounds like, with Dr. Umar. But here's Roland Martin rolling down a bowling alley. Wow! That's what your white ass get for standing in my way of levity. Right in the pocket shot. Thank you, EJ Tackett. Bow! Roland Martin rolling down a bowling alley. Bow, baby. I got you. I'm a man. I'm a bowling ball. I'm a hammer. Nothing hits like your hammer, you damn fool. That was the motto for the bowling balls in the 90s. That hammer, if you a urethane, oh my God. Y'all know I'm a bowler, right? So those balls, especially, were known for being very strong on the back end when you throwed it down the aisle, so it would have a greater impact and more pin action. So Roland loves pin. Bip. That's all, folks. I'm going back to TV One. Or you screw tube. Nope. They took my TV One channel. I'm on screw tube. I'm a man. I'm a pork chop. I'm a what Jason said. I'm a pot roast. A pot roast. Get well soon, Danielle. I'm gonna roll out of here, guys. But yeah, I think Umar was stating. I think MC Shan. I mean, they could say that they're entitled to their opinion, but I think MC Shan went a little too far with it. I think and Lover in particular went way too far with it. But CC, I'm glad I made you laugh. Well, we're gonna get out of here, so hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and also please donate to the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. I will see you on Thursday, and remember, that's all, folks. Good night, y'all.